Hello everyone and welcome back to another EV Geek studio review. As always, he is Sebastian, I am Joel, and this is a 2026 Volvo EX30 Single Motor Plus. So Sebastian, this is what, our third EX30 we've driven?
So with this car, we have now driven the full lineup in the US.
We've done, yes.
We've done all of them. So yeah, I'm excited. This is, the cheapest model that you can currently get in the US. This is the entry level. This one has a couple options on it. So the window sticker is 40-ish.
MSRP was 38.
38 before options?
Yep.
Okay.
38.9.
So this is still the cheapest way you can get an EX30 here in the US. We only get the long range in the US. We don't get the smaller battery. This has a 65 kilowatt hour usable battery pack, 150 kilowatt to peak DC fast charge rate. I think it's like 30 minutes, 10 to 80. Range is 261 on this version.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm excited to check it out. On the way over here, it is not near as slow as I expected it to be for a single motor.
No, it's got some punch to it.
And it's still a really nice car.
Yep.
So I'm excited to kind of explore that and see kind of what do you actually lose out on by getting the single motor other than just a motor.
That's right. All right, so just like always, we'll do a walk around tour, interior, infotainment, driving, and then head on back to Volvo of Little Rock to give you our final thoughts. So stay tuned.
Hey everyone, just a quick editor's note here, because it seems like we do this, it seems like the third time we've done this. Between us filming the video, me editing it so it can be released, Volvo has announced that they are discontinuing the EX30 for the US market. So you're going to hear us say, it's like, yay, thank you for bringing it, I'm so glad we have it. It was short-lived. So basically, at this point, I believe order books have closed. So whatever is on dealer lots or being shipped to dealers now is all we're getting. So if you are in the market for an EX30, you should probably act sooner rather than later, or wait for the used market to open up, or off-lease cars, whatever. But yeah, we've lost the EX30 in the US. I would like to say I didn't see it coming, but it's not too surprising. Anyway, back to the video.
All right, as always, Mr. Sebastian is going to give us our walk around tour.
Mr. Sebastian,
yes.
Nice. So yeah, we've done a lot with EX30.
We have.
I love this car, man.
We have a great partner here with Volvo, so
yeah,
it works out well.
So on the front end, you can't tell that it's a single motor. It looks just as nice as any other EX30. This one is in this metallic black paint. For once, we actually went and washed the car, Joel.
Why? Because it was covered in pollen.
Because it was covered in pollen. It's that time of year.
If you want to know what pollen looks like, all that yellow stuff right there in the ground. It's good old Arkansas pollen. So yes.
Anyway, but this one is all black. You can see it's got the Thor's hammer headlights. It's got the flat front end with the big Volvo badge. I think it's a good looking car. It's got these 19-inch Aero style wheels on them, which I think that's the same ones that we saw on the dual motor, the top trim level as well in the US. The cross country gets something slightly different. Mm-hmm. Coming around, this one has a key card. Swipe it here to unlock the door and to get in. Here's your window sticker we can talk about here. So you can see 268 horsepower, 253 pound-feet of torque, 69 kilowatt hours nominal. So it's about 64 usable, 69 gross. One pedal drive, 11 kilowatt, 48 amp onboard charger, 153 kilowatt DC fast charging, and those 19-inch
This is rear-wheel drive, correct?
Yep, this one is rear-wheel drive single motor. And you can see 38,950, and then it has some options for a sunshade. And the heated seats are optional on this trim level. This one has it for $500. And then after destination, this one's $41,890.
Yep.
But still only 260 miles of range. So this has a very similar size battery pack to like the new Chevy Bolt, things like that, which starts at almost $10,000 less.
Yes.
The question is this worth $10,000 more? So we'll kind of keep that in mind as we go through. Because you can option the Bolt up to almost 40 grand.
Yes.
Pretty easily.
It's the RS model, correct?
Yeah, and then you start throwing in like Super Cruise and other options, and yeah. Coming around back, so it still looks like your EX30. You have the split tail light design here. You've got this vertical portion here, the C-shaped lights below, kind of very typical Volvo styling. You can tell this one is a single motor because it does not say dual motor here. However, like I mentioned, overseas, they have a smaller battery version, and this one is the extended range because it has the bigger battery. That smaller battery pack's only like 51 kilowatt hours. I think it's also LFP.
That wouldn't work over here.
It's also LFP.
Yeah.
Anyway, this does still keep power lift gate.
Good.
Good. And you can see for a compact hatchback, it's really not that bad. Back small back here, you have a 12-volt outlet here on this side. And it's got some accessories in here like the floor mats, and it does have a cover for the sunroof. And then this floor is adjustable, which it's got too much weight on it right now to really get moved around. But you can kind of raise and lower the floor if you need to. Also love that they give you this little diagram here, which gives you the measurements for like how far from the back to each seat position, how wide is it, how tall is it, and just what they say will fit back here. I love that they give you that little point of reference just right there.
You're going to go buy 2x4 and see if you can fit it in.
Right. Power liftgate. So again, we'll pop her closed. And this is a good time we can take a first peek at the interior of this one. We finally have an EX30 on this channel that has my favorite interior. This has the pine interior, which is green, and I think it looks awesome.
But it's not too much green. Yes.
So it's a very subtle, muted kind of green color.
Oh, that's cool. I guess that's to protect the seats if you have like a car seat.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Well, there was an option on there for seat, protection package.
No, remember, I'm 6'1", and yeah,
it's pretty tight.
It's a little tight. a little tight. We didn't do much crazy seat adjustments. So as you can see, two USB-C outlets here. This is where you put up and down the window. That's an odd little feature. You put the window up and down on the center console.
Let me get up here real quick and see if I can scoot the seat forward and still be comfortable.
There we go.
How's that? Any better?
Yeah, it's much better.
Okay.
So as you can see, a little more room now. Got some storage down here. No middle pull-down console.
Interesting.
That I'm noticing.
I don't remember if the other version had it.
So unless I'm missing something, I don't see it.
Doesn't have it.
Nope, it doesn't. As you can see, huge glass roof as well. But the interior is super
I'm going to pop
nice.
around real quick because I do have a couple things I want to show real quick.
Sure.
Just because little tidbits. That is interesting.
Yeah. This is to protect it for...
You've got this little console that does slide and you can pull out.
Oh.
Well, if you look at the sides, you've got moose and trees and whatnot. And it's on both sides.
We got a little flag right here.
I just love the little Easter eggs in here.
Yep.
Do like that you also get a seat back pocket.
Yep.
On both sides.
So yeah.
All right. And yeah,
Kind
with
of
the
a view
sun
from
on
the
it,
front.
hopefully you can see. The green is not like overpowering.
Yes. It's more of a grayish green almost. All right. Talk about how these side lights, side mirrors work.
Yeah, so you can see they're edge to edge glass all the way.
Yep.
And they do that because this entire housing moves. So instead of the glass moving separate, this does. And by doing that, they're able to make the mirror actual size smaller, which helps with aerodynamics and whatnot. Pretty neat. We've seen a couple other automakers talk about starting to do that for the same reasons. And yeah, it's one of my favorite little Volvo quirks that I've seen on their EVs so far, having this edge-to-edge glass situation. We didn't go back and we did not look at charge port. We skipped it by accident. Yep. So this is still using a CCS port. Pop off top, here's your J1772, there's your CCS pins. This, like I said before, 153 kilowatt peak DC fast charge rate, 10 to 80, about 30 minutes.
That's the going right now.
Which is honestly a little slow for the size battery, but everyone seems to be hitting 30 minutes. That seems to be where everyone's sitting.
Yep.
So, and we've talked about before, do we spend too much time focusing on fast charging? I don't know.
Yeah.
But those are your specs for that. Again, 65-ish kilowatt hours usable, 69 kilowatt hours gross, or gross net. I always get them backwards.
Yep.
Anyway.
Got a rear wiper, which is cool.
Got a rear window wiper. Hyundai, take notes.
Yep.
And yeah, we'll just kind of take a quick peek in here. You can see this is a good time to look at the door card. You can see you get this kind of like knit text look. That said, this is not actually knit. This is a fairly flat, smooth piece of material. Here again, you've got that greenish fabric on the door cards as well.
That recycled.
And you can see this recycled plastic as well.
Yep, recycled plastic, yep. And kind of a look from the inside, it's just the one screen. We'll look at that in a minute. So yeah, and you can see that green a little bit better with some accents, you know, down here as well for color.
All right, the last thing to look at is front trunk. Which, this is the single motor. In theory, it could have a larger front trunk.
It could. All right, Sebastian, pop it and see what we got. Get a little tiny one. Got a frunkalope.
Yep, so still tiny. You can see again, you have your moose, and your trees, and a little outline of an EX30 driving through the woods. Cute, but yeah, still pretty tiny. You could
Yep.
fit something in there.
Maybe a
Not much.
small level 1 or something.
Jump pack or something. I don't know.
Yep. A small blanket, a couple water
The
bottles.
clothes.
There it is.
This car is built in Belgium, by the way, just if you didn't know. They've got that spun up for a little while now. The U.S. cars are now fully built in Belgium. They're not sending Chinese cars here anymore, or at least not Chinese built Volvo EX30s. So yeah, I think at this point we should get in.
Let's get on in. All right, we are out of the wind inside the Volvo EX30 single motor. Sebastian, let's take a look. What are we looking at?
Yeah, so just kind of overall, for this to be the base model, this interior is almost identical to what we've seen in the higher, more expensive, almost $10,000 more expensive EX30s that we've driven in the past. So you can see you've got this vertical screen here, no driver's instrument cluster, Android Automotive software. You've got this still open floor area with a little bit of division. You have things like a little pocket, which you can see some more of that yellow-green accenting in. Two USB-C ports there. You have a wireless charger, as well as the place that you put the key card.
Very Tesla-ish.
Very Tesla-ish. I do kind of wish if that was going to be how you do it, that it wasn't on the floor.
Yep.
But I believe these do support phone key and things like that, so you wouldn't have to do that every time if you actually own the car. This center console does not open per se. It does, however, have the pop-out cup holders, and you can see again, you've got that yellow accenting in here, and you can actually move this back if you want. You can use it as storage if you don't want to use it as cup holders. And you can also pop it if you only need one cup if you're by yourself, so then you have more open area here. And put it away. You can see window switches here in the center. Boom, boom, with the little toggle to switch to rear. And now we're on the rear window.
Yeah, nothing over on the doors here to
as well as your lock
put
and
your windows
unlock.
down. Yep.
And otherwise, pretty basic interior, like we mentioned before. Like every other EX30, this has the Harman Kardon sound system with the big sound bar up front. It does a surprisingly good job of doing a soundstage.
It does.
There are no speakers in these front doors. There are some in the rear doors, but not in the front. And I mean, even for them to all be up here, it does a good job of still sounding like it's coming from the door areas. You see you have the large glass roof. It doesn't do any tinting, doesn't have a cover or anything, except for you have the shade that you have to pop in manually.
Yep.
Otherwise, though, it's just an open glass roof. It does help it feel a little bit more light and airy in here. And yeah, no digital mirror, which none of the EX30s do, but the base model especially doesn't have. So yeah, let's look here. So if you've seen our EX30 videos before, this will be somewhat familiar to you. This is Android Automotive. So you can see this is kind of your key up homepage. You have your Google Maps big in the center. Since this is also your gauge cluster, if this currently shows park, if it was in drive, it would show my speed. You've got a little trip computer. And this does a ADAS animation, so it'll show cars around you, things like that, as well as your gear selector, 68 degrees out, time. And if you come in here, we'll go Google Maps first. So this is Google Maps, so Google Maps route planning. It does all that stuff. We're currently at 88%. And the guessometer is only showing 172 miles. Someone had some spirited driving over here.
Don't know who that was.
Don't know who that was.
Let's find out who that is.
But it's saying 3 charging stops. Let's see what it wants. 36 minutes at a flying J from 15%. I wish Google Maps would tell you what percent it was charging you to. That's not Volvo's fault. That's Google Maps' fault. Another Pilot, 20% for 30 minutes. And Tesla Superchargers, 14 minutes there. So, this, with an adapter, you can charge on Tesla Superchargers, which is nice. Go ahead and back out. I'm not actually going to Austin. But, I mean, it did that pretty quick. Like, if we wanted to go to Memphis, let's just look. That one's not actually doesn't need any stops. It says 16% there. And it tells us to turn around, we'll be at negative 55%.
Well, how can I make it back?
I mean, let's see. Nashville, Tennessee. What do you got? Boom, 2 stops. 44 minutes. 31 minutes, 13 minutes, get there at 10%. Yep. I do like it's getting you places low, which I mean that is configurable in here, so you can come in, especially once you have this set up in your Google account, linked to you, so you have an EV map filter, so you can, as you fly around, you can actually see chargers on the map, in theory. Ooh.
There should be a level 2 down the road at the golf course.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
Okay. I was just trying to feel like, why is it not popping up? Anyway, and so yeah, you can do quick charge, 50 kilowatt or faster, slow charge up to 40. So that'll be kind of your level 2, level 3 charging. And you can customize as well. And then boom, now you can really come in here and granularly filter out what you want it to show. If you wanted to be a psycho, you could say, only show me level 2s and car chargers over 350. If you wanted to be crazy, I guess.
There's no need to be that crazy.
No reason. Anyway, we'll come back here. This is where I was talking about. You can come in here, route options. You can kind of set up oh, I thought you could. Maybe you can't. Maybe you can't change your destination arrival percentages. Or maybe you have to be signed in.
Yep.
Anyway, otherwise, fairly basic infotainment. So home screen, you can come here, your app store. You do get wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, so a lot of people will be happy about that. And then you have just your general Bluetooth radio, FM radio. You do have Google Assistant, so you can ask the car to do things. You have Sirius XM, and you have Play Store, so you can come in and you can add other apps such as Spotify or YouTube Music or Waze or
Prime Video
or etc. etc. Come here at the bottom, you've got your volume, so this whatever changes volume. You can also come in here and change each of the individual. This is very Android style. You can change the ringtone volume and notification volume and things like that. You have a climate menu, so if you just tap this, it kind of pulls up a little basic one. So you can come in here, you can adjust temperature. It does move in increments of 2. Neat. And then you have your heated seats, which you can set to auto, or you can manually adjust, as well as heated steering wheel. Then you have that passenger side as well. Then you hit this and you get the full-blown climate menu. So you can see we're on auto and low. You have low, medium, high for auto. You can also do your manual or just turn it off. And then you have your kind of where's the air going, a max AC, eco mode, and whether or not you want to recirculate, it's just on auto now. So you can see your air quality. Right now it's good.
Surprising.
It is not like the EX90 where it would actually give you a list of all of the things. But anyway, and you have a mode here to turn on parking comfort. So this will actually leave the climate going when you get out of the car. Not dog mode, and you can see it says they do not recommend leaving people or pets in the lot car.
But if you got to run in somewhere for 5-10 minutes, you can
keep the car cool or whatever. And the reason they don't recommend leaving pets or whatever, so unlike for example when Tesla does dog mode, Tesla, you can look at the camera and check on your animal. It also will give you notices like, hey, the car is not keeping up with climate, whatever. It kind of warns you. This doesn't do any of that, and that's why they're telling you don't leave people or animals in here. But nice that you have a way to just leave climate on without just leaving the car on. And you can also even set up a timer. So if you know you leave the house every day at 7 a.m., you can tell it at 6:45 to go ahead and turn on the climate so that the car is nice and cool or nice and warm when you get in. Like to see it. And then you have your just general things. It also will warn you if the open windows are keeping it from keeping the climate up. And then also if something is wrong with the air quality inside, it will tell you.
Which if there is, I don't know how you would fix that.
Yeah, You can also see here at the bottom, you have some just like little quick functions. So these are your most recently used apps. So we opened Play Store earlier, now it's here. And we also have the user manual. You also have a toggle for your glove box, which is right there. Opens up in the middle. And I mean, decent size, not very wide, but it's fine. Better than not having one, for sure. Go ahead and pop that closed. And this is, again, you can see on that dash, that recycled plastic material, which I think really fits the vibe of this car pretty well. We'll hit the vehicle menu, and you can see you have some like little quick controls here. So you have your exterior lighting. This is, again, mirrors. You adjust it with the buttons here on the steering wheel, up, down, left, right. And you can see when I do it, I'll go ahead and point it to right so you can watch the entire mirror moves, which I just think is so cool. Anyway, come back. You can also fold the mirrors from here. You can come back. You have your ambiance. So you can come up. This does have ambient lighting. You can't really see it. It's also not just super bright in general. It's pretty basic. You can't really choose your own colors. You choose kind of their theme. So you have Midsummer, Forest Bath, Archipelago, Nordic Twilight, and Northern Lights. And you can change the brightness. You can see it started up all the way, but it's daytime. So you can see a sliver maybe. And you can, if you want, hit this button, and if you turn it up, you get some ambiance. Anyway, I don't need none of that. Boop, boop. Come back out of there. You have your lane keep. You have a toggle here for one pedal to turn it off. You can also do high or low. I like seeing that there's an option more than just on or off, and I like that it has it. Good deal. You have options for your rain-sensitive wipers. You can open the glove box again. You have trunk. If you come up here, car status, everything is okay. I would hope so. It has 25 miles on it. But you can see tire pressures, like super weirdly specific, 45.6. You have trip info, so this will give you like a little current trip since last reset, as well as your consumption gauge, which that's not super useful data for me, but I mean, I'm happy that it shows it. I do wish would allow you to use a different unit that's not kilowatt hours per
So
100
you don't have
miles.
to do math.
Because now you have to do math. You know you're doing 100 miles, you're going to use 30 kilowatts, so that's what, 3.3 miles per kilowatt hour. Anyway, you have battery. I like seeing this. So A, it gives you battery health. Love that more and more automakers are actually incorporating that as a easily identifiable feature. You can also see it will, for your charging, it will tell you what your actual charge power is and what the car's charge limit is at the time. So you can know, is it a charger issue, a car issue? Is the car getting exactly what it wants? That type of situation. And then when we go in here to settings, so you get all sorts of stuff in here. So we'll just kind of quickly go through this. You have your driving. So this, you come in here, adaptive cruise, you can set it to automatically set and change with the speed limit. You can set your following distance, one pedal again. You can turn on or off creep. You have range mode, which will kind of give you more, should be more efficient. It's going to limit climate control, limit you from flooring it, things like that. And then you have some general, these are grayed out because the car's technically not on yet. Because in order to turn these on, you just put your foot on the brake and then you actually shift into gear. Right now, the car is not on. And then you just have more general safety features. So you can come in, but all this is fairly, I'll just leave it all on. Control, so again, you can come in here, you have car wash mode, you have tow mode. Ooh, what does activate a refreshing experience mean? Never seen that one before.
That's odd, yep.
Relax. Driver's seat will recline, interior lighting will dim, and the car will lock, so you can relax safely.
So you get to take a little power nap.
Never seen that before.
We call it the power nap feature.
And then again, you have your parking comfort, so you can do max, or you can set if you only want it to run for a few hours or things like that. You have car wash mode, you have tow mode, and you have a button here you can just turn the car off. Brightness, yeah, none of this is super interesting to me.
You can open the trunk from there. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Sound. So this is, again, like we mentioned, it all comes up front. You don't get that much granularity here. You have the ability to kind of driver focus, rear focus. Then you have some surround sound, which I turned off because I thought it made it sound worse. I do like that Volvo actually gives you a true EQ. While there could be more bands, at least it has something. Charging, you can see right now it's currently set to 100% charge limit. I like that when they do the custom, you just kind of drag where you want it. They only let you go down to 50%, but I guess this is a pretty small battery pack, so it makes sense. You also have, so they do a 90% recommended daily charge, and part of that is because, like I mentioned, it's only 64 kilowatt hour usable, so they have a pretty big buffer built in for degradation anyway. And so they'll let you charge to 90% because of it. You also can come in here and you can limit your charge current. And then you can come in here and turn it from 45 amps all the way down to 6 amps. And you can set up charging schedules as you would, expect to be able to do. Come out. You have driver profiles, which is nice, and you can tie profiles to keys and all that jazz. And if we come in your system, I like that you can come in, you can actually set for range estimate. Do you want to use guessometer, or do you want to just use certified based on EPA? So you can see, based on EPA, 88% of 261 must be 229. But based on guessometer, we're only at 172 miles.
We had a little fun drive over.
You can come in here, you have your updates in here as well. You have software update. This does over-the-air updates, which is nice. It's currently up to date. And I like if you click on this, you can actually see, it'll take it a second to load. It'll pull your release notes and tell you all the things they add in them. And you can even scroll through and see historical, like what has been added since new. There we go. Relax mode, refresh mode.
Range mode. Yep.
In range mode. So there's that refresh mode we didn't know. See. Turns on ambient lights, turns the air conditioning up, turns off after 3 minutes, all settings revert to previous state. This is only available in drive. Okay. Anyway. Charging messages and all that jazz. But yeah, I just like that it gives you, the whole history since the car was launched. And other than that, not a whole lot else to really talk about on here. It's fairly responsive, fairly snappy, and it seems so much better than the first time we drove the EX30, for sure. Looking around, this is pretty basic. We don't have to get too far into it. So you have your driver assistance buttons here to turn it on and adjust speed. I like to, as I kind of get close to these buttons, you can see it actually pops up on the screen. It tells you what you're doing. I'm not actually hitting them though. I'm just like lightly tapping them, and then when I push, there you go. And so now I just made that simpler. So that kind of toggles between your driver's assistant view or just a very basic view. And then you have just some up, down, okay, next track, previous track. Okay, that's your volume. Got it. And then your voice assistant button. And other than that, wiper controls, gear shift. That's it.
We're gonna take it for a spin.
Let's take it for a spin.
All right, so we are slowly making our way to the interstate. Where we film our intros is a little bit far from the interstate. Ooh, Rivian. I
Nice.
digress. So yeah, Sebastian, what are your thoughts? I drove it over. You're driving it now.
Yeah, so we're just driving around city streets. So I remember making a comment. The cross-country ride's better than the regular car. Just that a little bit extra ground clearance, a little bit more suspension travel really does help. That said, for this to be the single motor, it still punches. It's still, I mean, 0 to 60 is in like 5.1 seconds. So I shouldn't be surprised if that's quick. I mean, we've just been spoiled by EVs that do it in like 3 seconds or whatever. And so then it's like, oh, 5 seconds is slow. No, 5 seconds is still plenty fast. And really, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds for a car of only 260 horsepower is pretty impressive.
So let me ask you this. You like smaller cars. How does this drive compared to the Bolt?
This drives better on a Bolt, yeah.
Your Bolt's also a lot older, too.
Right. But no, it drives fine. But one pedal tuning is still not my favorite, which I remember I had that complaint about. You know, that's kind of my general. I'm glad that it's here now. I remember when we first drove EX30, it didn't have true one pedal. So I'm glad that it's an option, but I'm still a little bit low is not enough. High is sometimes not enough, but also sometimes it's also too bitey.
Yeah, I was a little jerky on the way over here trying to get used to that one pedal.
And it's one of those you could get used to. I'm just, you know, it takes time. We're about to get out here on the highway. That said, so even though it does ride a little worse in cross country, it's still fine. It rides like you would expect a small crossover hatchback to ride. I mean, most of the cars this size don't ride particularly great because they don't have long wheelbases. There's not that much space to absorb a bump.
But interior-wise, it's pretty quiet.
Interior, it's comfortable. These seats, I didn't even mention, for this to be the base model, you still get lumbar adjustment. You still get power, you know, slide forward, back, power tilt, all that jazz. So you can get pretty dialed in exactly where you want to be, which is nice. And yeah, after the world's longest red light, we will get on the highway. We can turn on our pilot assist, and we'll see kind of how that behaves after, you know, it's gotten some software updates over time. We can see if it's any better, worse, about the same, etc. So merging out, I mean, again, you can just give it a quick little, it still feels nice. You still get your instant torque. And that's what's crazy to me. You know, this is just a Volvo. Volvo is the whole safety company and all that. And so the fact that they let you kind of have fun with it is nice. Okay, we're out here. I'm going to hit this button, which if I remember right, does nothing. So this one? Oh, no. Forgot.
There it is. It's like a Tesla.
Hit the gear stalk down again. So we're locked in on speed. We're not doing any sort of lane centering. Is it double tap?
Nope, that's canceled. Maybe no lane centering.
It has lane centering. It must be turned off. Let's see. Settings, driving.
Lane keeping aids on. The aids
Maybe
on.
You don't get it on the base model. Maybe they cut it out. Which is really confusing because here you can see it says pilot assist. But yeah, I'm not getting any.
Outlook.
I'm not getting any lane centering that I can tell.
Steering feel, medium, lane keep, view all. Lane keeping, lane departure, driver alert, blind spot. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything.
Which is also really confusing because the button's on the steering wheel. Interesting. Maybe I'm just an idiot. I don't know. I did forget that Volvo moves by default, you move your cruise control speed in increments of 5. You have to press and hold to get individual units.
You can also do it from the screen, it looks like, too, but that's kind of a far reach.
Well, no, I think that's the whole, it shows you what button you're hitting as you, it's just showing what I'm doing here. Anyway, but out on the highway, though, I mean, volume-wise, it's fine. I wish I could do lane centering. I don't know what's up with that. But
something we'll have to look into once we
can try to look into more, but I wouldn't be surprised if I look online if it says that maybe that's one of the things you don't get on the base model. They had to cut something, right?
Gotta cut something for you to upgrade to the.
Because otherwise you get pretty much everything else. Now this has heated seats, but it's optional. But again, it's only a $500 option, so I feel like you would just buy the heated seats no matter what, unless I guess you live in Arizona maybe. But I feel like most of the country could use heated seats for a little bit of the year. But yeah, it drives nice. It's quiet. It's comfortable. It's, again, like I mentioned, I'm sure you can see this on camera, as we kind of go over bumps, you can see our whole bodies are kind of moving more than we would in another, like a larger vehicle, but it's a small car.
Yep.
That's
I
kind of
also
expected.
noticed it does give you lots of warnings a lot. For example, if you're driving with your hand on top of the steering wheel, you're covering up the
It'll tell
sensor.
you, yeah.
It will say, keep your eyes on the road, or can't do lane assist because the camera's covered.
I'm curious, what is our efficiency so far? We are currently at 29 kilowatt hours per 100 miles, so
36, 3.2
okay,
ish.
Yep. Cool.
So yeah,
it also it does vibrate the steering wheel when you touch lane lines and things like that.
You're you turned off the sound, so.
Oh, I did. I didn't realize.
When you go to driver, where was it? Under settings, driving. If you go down here to you all, it's speed. Or
oh, okay, sound and no, that's speed limit warnings.
Okay. Driver alerts on. Someone's impressed with their Mustang up there.
Anyway, yeah, I'm a little bummed if it doesn't do lane centering.
Yep.
It's one of those features I feel like at this day and age it should just be standard.
Yep.
I mean, really, especially if it has the hardware.
It pops up the navigation as a
even
pop-up
when you're
screen
not in the
yep.
app. Yeah, which we can come back in here. I didn't super need navigation. I just kind of had it on for comfort, I guess.
Yep. All right, so we're heading back to McLarty Volvo, Little Rock. I had a little brain fart there. And we're going to give you our final thoughts, so stay tuned. All right, we are back here at Volvo Little Rock, McLarty Volvo. Shout out to Keith and the team. They're always great about letting us borrow Volvos. So, Sebastian, third time's a charm on the EX30. You did some research on the lane centering. What did you find out?
So you do not get lane centering unless you step up to the Ultra version, which also requires you to get the dual motor.
There you go.
So there we go.
So now we know.
So you get adaptive cruise lane keep, but not lane centering.
Yes, it will vibrate and everything to let you know.
It'll vibrate, but it won't actually do any help to keep you there.
All right, so what do you think? Third time's a charm. What do you think?
So this one honestly is fine. The lane center, for me, I'm spoiled. I like having it. That would be enough for me to actually want to move up to another version. But at the same time, then you get less range.
Yep.
And this already doesn't have that much range.
Yep.
At 41 grand, you're getting a much nicer interior than something you would find in, say, a Bolt.
Yep.
Or a Leaf or anything else that's in this kind of similar size, bracket, price, class, whatever. Mm-hmm. But it's a hard thing to kind of balance the need between having an actual nice kind of luxurious feeling car, nice to drive, whatever, and then just balancing to also having all the features and bells and whistles and things like that.
I'm doing a little research here to see what they actually have this car listed for.
Because it's like, as much as I love this car, the dual motor has you get kind of the cachet as well of it's a performance car. It's fast. It's a stinking crotch rocket, man. And the single motor, while it's still quick, you kind of lose on that. Okay, well, it's no longer a performance car. Now you have to actually really compare it against these other small hatchbacks that are coming out, like the new Bolt and the new Leaf and things like that. And then you compare it against, I mean, even at 41 grand, you start comparing against Model Y, kind of Model Y standard, Model 3, it's just.
And this one is actually, they're selling it for $39,800. So it's a little bit less than the sticker price, so yeah.
But that said, if you are a Volvo fan, then this is a great, it's a great car.
Volvo's kind of like Subaru. They kind of have that following where they just love their car, so they're going to stay with their car. So if I'm driving a smaller Volvo, this may be an easier transition for me to an EX30.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love these little small little cars. If it was just me and I was older and didn't have kids, it would be a perfect car for me to use to get around town and things like that. So yeah, I mean, shout out Volvo EX30. Thank you for bringing this to the States for us. So yeah. All right. That's it for today. Once again, before you head on out, tap that notification icon. Don't forget to subscribe so you know when new content like this is being released. And we'll see you again on another EV Geek Studio review. So long, everyone.